When you're looking at properties on Rightmove, this embedded software tells you the price history of something, so you can see when it was dropped, when it was changed, when it went on the market, if it's sold and then came back on the market. So there's tons of Chrome's overlays that you can use as tools as a property investor looking at Rightmove. Now, what I'm going to show you is actually embedded into Rightmove itself. Sellers don't know you're doing this. So I'm actually going to do a bit of a screen share with something that I thought was pretty cool as a quick grade of using Rightmove, essentially, whether that's for HMOs, houses, planning, loft conversions. And you may have seen before in some of our episodes, I have some overlays in my Chrome tab. So what you can see if you're looking on the bottom right screen is we have property price history, which is a extension that you can download on your Chrome, which means that when you're looking at properties on Rightmove, this basically embedded software tells you the price history of something, so you can see when it was dropped, when it was changed, when it went on the market, if it's sold and then came back on the market. It's really useful, and that's a Chrome overlay. So there's tons of Chrome's overlays that you can use as tools as a property investor looking at Rightmove, because there's lots of intuitive business owners that have created those tech platforms. Now, what I'm going to show you is actually embedded into Rightmove itself. So this is actually one of Central Suites' properties. And unfortunately for me, I can actually show you the price history change. This is an obvious overlay with our Rightmove extension, with our Chrome extension that we've used, which is your price change history, which you can download. And then that's kind of overlaid into your interface. Sellers don't know you're doing this. And this is an example of one of the extensions that you can use. But the reason I'm showing you this property, and I'll actually bring it up again with multiple exits, because I'll talk about the pricing and why we're reducing the price on the market and what we're planning to do. But what I wanted to show our listeners today is if you're on any property on the Rightmove feature, they've got this new feature here which says extension potential. Now, I would like to think if you're listening to this, you're already sort of a budding property person, or you're already doing some deals. So it might not be that useful from a planning perspective, because you might already know what availability there is for PD and extensions with standard houses, HMO conversions under PD, or even just by looking at it going, I think we can get a loft conversion. I think we can do a single story or a rear side extension. Quite a lot of those things are quite obvious. But where this is actually really useful is it takes in local data, which is powered by Resi, and can actually show you the approval rate nearby, which is really good information. So here you've got basically like a quick ready reckoner, whether it's got potential to extend. It also tells you the year that the property was built, the success rate of planning applications within that area. It also factors in some local potential restrictions like area of outstanding natural beauty, which tends to be quite a large restriction in this location. Greenbelt's a little bit easier to get consents. It then goes on to tell you residential planning applications, where you can actually look at the approval rate, how many days it takes to get the approval, special things to consider in this particular area. Obviously, this is conservation area and who the authority is. So this is just on Rightmove. So this is easy clicking, easy looking, easy understanding, and actually really useful information. You can then open that up and actually have a look at the applications within that location. And what's quite clever, they've got sort of CGIs drawn up here with examples of nearby projects and roughly what they would cost, what years they were approved, the estimated build costs. And then, to be quite frank, looking at a sort of standard sort of 5 meter wide by 3 meter extension, this probably isn't too far off as far as cost wise goes. They also make an estimate of the value add and also the project length. So as just a very ready reckoner, it's so simple, straightforward, it's free, it's on Rightmove. So hopefully I now have drawn your attention to it. You can have a look at it. And you can also click at rear, side. So these are actual applications that have been consented, looking at side extensions, the dates they were consented, what they look like. Again, the costs, the value add potential, and how many weeks the project would take. And they've also got a rear planning approval, a side planning approval, which is about the same, and then a loft planning approval and the types of loft extensions that you can do. And again, probably not that far off cost wise, depending on what you want to achieve and project lengthwise. So just quite an easy win for a property that you're looking at, whether it be an HMO or flipping a house, and it's completely free and you don't have to do anything. It's already embedded into the UI stuff of the user interface of Rightmove. So again, just to quickly show you, this is a Rightmove link that we've come onto. and then you just scroll all the way down past the map to extension potential, and you can obviously look at it there. I'm sure a lot of our listeners have already looked at essentially like property sale history and recently sold, which is really good for comparables. I basically have never looked at broadband speed. I don't know if anyone else has, but they're really useful sort of click through that you can actually look at. We'll be coming back to this deal to talk a little bit about the multiple exits, but it was just to let you know that that Rightmove feature is there.
If you got value from this video, make sure you click the subscribe button down below and ring the notification bell, because we release one video at least every week, so you'll be the first to get notified. See you on the next one.